plus Caitlin Art. My name is Celeste. In this video, I'm going to show you how I study face anatomy and drawing realistic hair and the studies that I did this week and some of the warm-up techniques and other things that I did. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. I'll have new art videos up every Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. So without any more delays, let's get into it. Alright you guys, so this is what I did this week. The first thing I did was pick up just blank paper like this. I like to study on this. It's easily discardable and easily savable if I want to keep it too, so having just loose sheets of printer paper is awesome to study on. And then first thing I would do after that is write down things that I need to study, things that I need to practice this week. I wrote down quite a few things that I feel I need practice in, but the two things that I studied this week was face anatomy and the hair, drawing realistic hair. So those are the two things I'm going to kind of show you the tips that I learned this week. And yeah, I hope you get something out of it. So first things first, I am working on my portfolio to become a tattoo apprentice. So I decided to do a little bit of warm-ups to start. And the first thing I actually did was not these. The first thing I did to study and do warm-ups was line work. So I started doing freehand circles and freehand lines. A good thing to practice is just starting off with a line by the ruler. It's really good to just give you a base to work off of, and then whatever you need practice in, then that's what you study. So I'm studying up and down lines and holding my pencil like this because that's how I would hold the tattoo machine, and then just holding it as straight as I possibly can, taking my time and really focusing on that line from start to finish and just following through the whole way. So I'm not doing this full line, I'm just doing little lines and just really studying that. So this is a really good study and warm-up, and then freehand circles. Just going like this. I like to do them inside of each other like this because it really teaches me to focus in on how far around I'm going, like the distance between each line. And getting that is hard. So really just keeping your eye on the pencil the whole time as it's in contact with paper is extremely important. So really good warm-up to do there, and just doing that in different ways, different lines, stuff like that is always a really good practice. The next thing I did after studying that was these. I did a couple little flash designs. I'll render these in final draft before I add any of this to my portfolio, but getting these rough ideas and sketches down is always a good warm-up for me so that I'm constantly adding to my portfolio. Small designs is huge in what you'll start to tattoo, so this is what I'm trying to work on building, and warming up with them is a great way to start. And just getting ideas down on paper, right? Just getting your creative flow just going. Then what I did was I actually started practicing the face anatomy first. I started by doing simple things like this. So if you take a sheet of paper, drawing it in many different forms that you can still have it lying down, have it curved, have it facing up, facing left, facing right, whatever way, and then gradually as you go along, you're putting down the center line for the face, put in those little eyes and cute little nose and mouth, and just keep adding to that. And then as you go along and you feel like you're getting that understanding of like whichever angle you're looking, you'll make sure that the face is always straight and looking correct. Then you can start to add in cheekbones and adding in eyebrows and facial expressions, adding in ears. This will really help you to understand the anatomy of the face and how it should work. From that, I did these. So I did every angle of the skull. I noticed I needed a lot of work in the front view, but that's okay. This shows me where I need to study to improve. I carried on to do a face. After doing the face, I wanted to study realistic hair. I picked Hailey Bieber to draw. I did all the line work, got her face and hair lined in, and then I started working on the hair. I picked straight hair to start because it was something simple, but I really just wanted to get the form and everything looking like hair because I always tend to avoid the hair when I'm doing portraits. I'll find someone bald to do or with hair pulled back so I don't have to draw it. So I figured hair was something that I needed to tackle, and I did blonde hair. It had some contrast here, so darker parts of the hair. Yeah, and I think it came out all right. I ended up doing her face, but I find that her eyes are a little bit big, but I didn't really care because hair was the main thing I wanted to focus on for this picture. After drawing realistic hair from a reference, I decided to give it a try drawing realistic hair from my imagination. So I started with just some basic lines. Key here to hair is that you want it to be free-flowing because hair is free-flowing. It doesn't have those hard edges. So loosen up your wrist and just give it flow. And that's what I did here. And then I just kind of, you know, wherever I felt like the lines were guiding to, that's where I kind of just did all those shading. I didn't add in the 4B contrast, which would definitely bring this to life more. But starting in HB, then I would use a blending step. Then I would go in with a darker pencil, blending step again. Then I would go in with a darker pencil, blending step again. And then that's when I would add in my free-flowing hairs. And then I would finish it off with using my Mono Zero eraser. If you don't have one of these are awesome. I highly suggest this for tails. I did the highlights on her nose, lips, and eyes, and hair, just to really add that last detail. This cost me about $10, but it's definitely worth it. Came with refills. I highly suggest this. And yeah, I just went in with the Mono Zero eraser and added in all the highlights and all the free-flowing hairs as well for the highlights. I know it doesn't seem like much, especially when you're going out into the white, but if you notice here, if you have dark free-flowing strands going this way and you add a highlight flyaway this way, you're gonna cut through right here. It's gonna add that extra realistic detail. So I always use this last. And that's all I studied for this week. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also hope that you got something out of it of value to help you with your art studies. And if you're still here, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But that's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one.